Hello my lovelies and happy Monday. It's the beginning of another crafting week and I'm here with Easy Makes Monday and just a bit of a catch up, let you know what is coming up for the rest of the week. So thank you for joining me. If you're new here, I'm Catherine and I do all sorts of crafting projects here. Mainly junk journaling, anything textiles. I always like to put a little bit of stitch into my junk journals, paper crafting and so much more. And if you would like to join us and watch all these scrummy yummy projects, then please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I am going to do a little bit of something for my Edgings project. So if you recall, I'm doing a new series looking at all quirky ways, different ways of doing some edgings to our pages, and I thought I would do something towards that today. Now, if you've been with me a while, you know that I am a big lover of using bubble wrap. And what I tend to do with these is make them in advance because there's so many different things that you can do. Now, I'll link a video from earlier on showing some other bits and bobs. I think it was showing actually me sewing the bubble wrap. I can't recall now, but I think so. So that'll be useful. And what I like to do is have some of these in reserve. Now this needs a little bit more sewing on there. There's not enough sewing on there for my liking. But I just love the texture and the effect that bubble wrap gives you. And also it's got a lovely opacity to it so that you can see through it, and you could even I have even lined journals with it, and you can make pages with it. Really, it's just so versatile. So basically I just save all my bubble wrap, and as you know, it comes in all shapes and sizes of bubble. Well, not sizes of bubbles, they're all round, aren't they? Oh dear, silly girl. But these are really teeny weeny, not much air in them, and so these are easier to sew through the machine, but I have got a super duper project coming up in the future which uses the really large ones, so stay tuned for that. So I just, you can sew on it single layered, just put a variety of stitches. You don't need an over fancy machine. You know, surprising what you can do with zigzag if you alter the length of the stitch and the width, and you can just make some really decorative strips using just like these. So just using stitches on your machine, and I think they make really nice strips. Or you can do what I'm doing here. So I've just started it to show you. You can stuff anything in the middle of here. So if you've got loads of scraps, little scraps of fabric, and if you're saving your scraps of threads that you put in your little jar, which is known as the Ort, and save all those, and you can, pile them all in between your layers of your bubble wrap. Now here I've just got some felt that this is felt that you use for actually doing felting projects, not ready-made felt. This is, and I've just put an assortment of green in here because I'm also going to be doing another project later in the week with leaves, because that's the challenge that Tracie from Tracie Fox Creative Love Junk Journals has set for her group. So we'll talk more about my leaves. I had a bit of a mare with the leaves yesterday. A bit of a mare, hence the bit of I went through all this lovely, I had a lovely piece with felt in the middle, and even though I used Tracie's template, I can't cut round leaves to save my life, and they look nothing like leaves. They look like a cross between a Christmas tree that had gone on the slant and something like Mr. Blobby. So I cut those up again, and they're inside here. So you don't waste anything, but oh, I spent 2 hours making this and then made a bit of a a sloppy job of it. So you just fold it in half, trap all whatever you want in the middle, all your trappings, and you know, then you can either put some clips on, but if you don't feel confident with your machining, then you can run a tack stitch around, big tacking stitches to keep it in place. Now what I suggest is that most machines come with the attachment. I've put it away at the minute, so it's right up high on top of my shelves. I can't show it you, but I've used it before. The attachment that's got the spring on it, most come with that attachment, and that's if you're wanting to use something that isn't dead flat, that has got some depth to it, and you will find that easier. Now I decided that you know, I wouldn't bother, and it serves me right, because yeah, I got bubble wrap stuck all in my machine and all sorts. And also this was a bit of it, you can see there, all that got trapped down the machine, and David had to take it apart. So more what is it, more haste, less speed. I need to be more patient. So this is something else that I like to sew. So these are just dried baby wipes, and I mean, they're great for doing hand stitching as a backing if you don't have the wadding, but I also like to sew. So I like to sew on weird things, as you know, but it's surprising what fantastic effects you get. So you do loads of stitching on it, and then you end up with this. Now, as I say, there isn't enough stitching on here yet for me. And then what I do is I save that. So there's all sorts of different projects that you can do with that. And as I say, this one, I'm going to be cutting leaves out of it later in the week. So it is quite versatile. You can put it on your tags, you can do all sorts. So it takes a bit of time, you know, you've got to be patient with it, because it does take a bit of time to sew it. But you've got a few of these, all different colours in your stash. They are useful. So, dare I show you one of my leaves? Oh, there were 3 leaves that didn't fail. And I think they look fabulous in the, and you can see through them. If I cut that any smaller, there'd be none left. Started out that big, look, ended up that big. Anyway, we're going to do that later in the week. So I've got some strips that I've already cut up here, and I'm going to use these as edgings for my edging project. Now what I thought I would use is, I just want to show you, we all need butterflies in our lives if we're crafters, don't we? We all need butterflies on hand. So, you know, I love a good Tracie label, so I always have them ready for use. Now look at these. I've only printed 2 pages off at the moment. I love them. These are the bumper Fussy cut butterflies by, obviously, Tracie at Love Junk Journals. Aren't they stunning? And they're easy to fussy cut out because she's put a great lining around them. I don't have a cutting machine of any sort, so people that have, I think these will be great, because from what I can gather, they like to recognise a decent edge for cutting. So I've just printed these 2 pages off for the sake of today, so go and check that out in Tracie's shop. I'll put a link down below. And I think, you know, fussy cut these out because there's loads of pages, and something to do while you're watching the telly, and you've always then got a butterfly on hand. But I want to use these for my edgings, Now let me lean over, sorry, I'm leaning right over here, put my hair in the way. I am going to cut a few out. Okay then, so I've cut some of those out, and how lovely they were to cut out with having those edging borders round. Especially when you come to those, you know, those that have got these funny little bits on the bottom. These things here, I usually just chop them off. Okay then, so I've got my 4 edgings here, and it's a matter of just doing a bit of placement on, yes, that's one of those with them little feathery things at the bottom. So we can put that one there, can't we? Let's see what else we want. We want something a bit different coloured there, but aren't they gorgeous? They really are stunning. This is a big one, so I'm going to put 5 on here. If I have space to put 5. Will it be overcrowded? I think it will. I'll leave that at 4. Now then, oh, that's gorgeous one. Look at that. Put that on there, that's a bit wider. These will go in all sorts of things, won't they? I'm going to add them. I mean, I've got loads of, you know, I've got quite a few butterflies in my stash, but these are just so easy to cut out. There's some others that are all in colour tones, which I think are lovely as well. But for the purpose of this video, I didn't really have time to be printing all those off. So I've just done these couple of pages. Do we want, yes. Yeah, I just need another one. Now we want one quite plain. No. It's a bit matchy with the top, isn't it? Yes, we'll have those. So can you see that these are easy makes? I know I've sort of gone on to, you know, we've had a bit of a break to cut them out and everything. But if you've got all your butterflies cut out, you've got your strips of your bubble wrap already done for using for various projects. You just cut them into strips. You know, get some butterflies, put those on, and how fantastic do they look? They look gorgeous on the page of our Edgings journal. So I'm just going to glue really in the middle. So it makes a change. I've loved doing my Halloween stuff, but this has got a bit of a blockage in there. Yeah, I've loved doing my Halloween stuff, and everything's done in the shop, ready to go. And it's lovely change to do something a bit different. Now, check out Nikki. I often mention things that Nikki Edgings does, but I was watching her last night, and she's done a new video using these, but the negative images. So obviously, because she's done hers on her machine, she has then got a full sheet of negatives that aren't, you know, in bits. If you cut them out by hand, you know, you really don't end up with a big page full of negatives, because, you know, you have to cut them into little bits. It's easier to do. But if you have cut them on a machine, she always has some really nice ideas. She's made some fabulous pages out of the negatives. So go and check that out. I'll put that down below as well. And so if you have got a machine that's cut out like that, or if you're really good and you can fussy cut all these out by hand without damaging the outer, which no way I could do. Makes your hands hurt if you don't get them, you know, if you don't cut all the excess off, doesn't it? So what have we got coming up? Well, I'm going to be doing a little, it's sort of a little folio really, featuring leaves, all things leaves, because that's the that is the group project for the Facebook group for Tracie. And I think on Thursday we will work on that, and as I say, I will be doing some leaves, hopefully cutting them out better than I have been doing, and working on that little project. So that'll be good on Thursday. Tomorrow we're going to get back to, I think it'll be the final session really, on the cover for my Edgings journal. So yes, tomorrow I think we will continue on with that, and I think it will be the last one for that particular cover. I have only got a bit more sewing really, a bit more stitching to do on that, and that will be done. And let's see, anything else? And then once I've got that out of the way, we'll show you the edgings as well. Before I start on the leaves, I'll show you these. We'll put these in the pages of the Edgings journal just to see how lovely they sit in there. And that's hopefully that sounds like a bit of an exciting lineup for you. I will be then thinking about my first design team project for Tracie Fox Creative, which is all very, very exciting. I've sort of got an idea which kit, what I'm doing. I'm trying to push myself a little bit out my comfort zone with it. So that should be good. And anything else? Oh yes, Davy's managed to set up this buy me a coffee thing, but in actual fact we've set it up as buy Nelson a chew. Buy Nelson a chew. He's thrilled to bits to be involved, he is. So thank you. Somebody has already bought him 5 chews, and he's really excited to be involved in it. So yeah, we'd be most grateful if you take a look at that. If we keep him happy with his chews, then you know we can get on and do what we do, can't we? You ain't going woofing all day then in the background for you. Although some of you like to hear him, I know. So yes, go and check that out. Halloween journals are all in. David's coffin journal is in, and the other 2. So yeah, we're running out of postage time there. I think there's an antenna gone off that one. That's fine if they don't go, because you make these journals and I think, oh, I want that for myself. And I think that's everything. I think that's all the news. I don't think there's much else, apart from the fact that I'm really excited to be going and getting my hair done properly. I've got a hairdresser's appointment, the first time in 18 months, instead of nipping to the barbers up the road who scalps me. And yeah, I can't stand grey hair. I just don't think. My hair is very coarse and very thick, and it loses all its, lost all its shine, although it must have been good for it not being coloured for 18 months. But oh, I can't wait to get coloured today. It should make me feel 20 years younger. So I'm really excited to be getting back to a little bit of normality. So there we go. There we go, guys. There's my Easy Makes Monday for this week. And how fabulous do they look? Really pleased, you see. And the other thing, you can use these as belly bands, and you know, you can see through them. They are quite, as I say, they've got a lovely opacity to them, depending on how much stitching you do. I mean, if you don't want to, this one's not got too much stitching, and I just love the texture the bubble wrap gives you. And we're doing our bit for the environment, aren't we? We're doing something to recycle all this bubble wrap plastic we get. Okay then, so thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you've really enjoyed that, give me a like. That really helps the channel. And I'll see you tomorrow. Get back to a bit of stitching tomorrow for Tuesday sewing. Bye for now.